Yo, what's good? What's happening? What's popping? This is Y777FX. Today we're going to be doing something different. I usually just analyze NASDAQ. Today I'm going to be breaking down at least like all of these currencies, at least like over 10 currencies. So this one I'll be breaking down and I'll be going over all the currencies from the monthly up until the hourly if possible. So we go to our first one, which is Euro AUD. I really used to like this currency when I used to trade currency. It's a great currency. I used to trade like major key, like trend line, break, retest, that type of shit. But yeah, so I gotta make this video quick because trading via has a 20-minute limit. So first we go on the monthly, okay? The biggest time frame. People ask us, why you go on the monthly? We go on the monthly because it's the rustiest. Because why is the rustiest? By that I mean nobody touches the monthly. And also the monthly, we find our bigger zones, so we see exactly where price is, and then we build a bias. Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Is it consolidating, ranging? Is it potentially reversing? Yeah, basically it. So we're gonna look at the monthly right now. Actually, gonna look at the last couple of months. Not gonna lie. Let's just say from yeah. That's enough. That's enough. But we can like look from here. Okay, so we're looking at this point right here. The monthly time frame is coming from an ultimate high, like literally an ultimate high. I do think coming from the ultimate high, it dropped. You know what I'm saying? Creating like these type of lows. You know what I'm saying? It's currently at this point right here. It printed a low right here. It printed a monthly pinball, and it reached to the bottom. It didn't reject, but it reached. So the difference between a rejecting and a reaching candle. A rejecting candle is a candle that actually like a wick candle, but that doesn't break any highs or low. But reaching is when it actually does break highs or low. It means price wants to go that way. Rejecting means price doesn't want to go that way. It's just turning. So yeah, we look at the fact that we are actually at a monthly zone. Well, not necessarily at a monthly zone. We're almost at a monthly zone. All right, this is the monthly footprint order block, whatever you want to call it. This is the point at which it broke structure. You see these highs? Look at all these highs, and then look at the fact that this is the area that actually broke all three of these highs. So basically, that is our monthly order block. We can even use the order block finder. Yeah, but order block finder uses this one. I have two order block finders. If anyone asks, they don't ask me why. They help. So yeah. So let's do this. Yeah. So price did break to the upside, and now price is coming back to enter this point. Most preferably at the deeper off, and then probably go upwards again. So exactly like what is our monthly bias? Our monthly bias will be bearish because we're not yet at the monthly level. So we're still bearish. You feel me? Lower lows, lower highs, and then we don't really use the weekly. Now, before people like when I say bearish, guys, I don't mean like I'm only gonna be looking for sell orders. I'm gonna be looking for buy and sell orders. It's just that the sell orders are gonna be a higher probability than the buy orders. Meaning, if I take buys, I'll be scalping 100 pips or 50 pips. If I take sells, I'll be swinging 200 pips, 300 pips upwards. Okay, but truly depending on the setup. But more ideally, we understand that now. The sell setups are higher probability trade, and the buy setups are the low probability trade. Don't mind my laptop is tripping. Okay, cool. Then now we actually go down to the daily. Not even to the daily. Let's look at the weekly, because this is like what I'm seeing on the weekly. Shit, this house is fire. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna remove everything on here. So what are we gonna see? Price is actually coming from a huge dip. You feel me? This dip that actually broke a lot of structure, you feel me? So price is coming from that particular dip. You feel me? And it did actually create a zone at this point because price did actually go up and broke these highs, as you can see. That shows that there's actually a lot of buy order flow volume within this area. Okay, and we're also gonna look at this wick right here. But let's just mark out the OB. Let's see if the order block finder finds it. Doesn't find it. Doesn't necessarily find it. And we mark from the base to the extreme. Just base to extreme. So whether bullish order block or bearish order block, base to extreme. That's our weekly order block. Well, now within a weekly buy zone. Sorry. So we understand that even though we're bearish on the monthly, you feel me? We are bullish on the weekly. You feel me? By that I mean like we look at the weekly, we see that we're within a weekly buy zone. Okay, remember, well, our monthly buy zone is actually all the way below here, right? So we're not looking to actually like trade the buys as yet. We're looking at what I mean is like that monthly zone that we're actually predicting. We just marked it out for us to see that, okay, cool, that's the monthly zone. That's where all our that's where actually the market is heading to. But now we're now on the weekly. That's a totally different like mindset. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys get me. Okay, cool. So now we understand that we are coming that this is a bullish order block right here that actually broke structure. You feel me? And there was a dip within the order block, and then boom. Now we are within this weekly order block. So now we would like to find a daily order block here. Okay, so let's just go over here. Okay, cool. We have a couple actually. Damn. Trip more, please. But let's wait for my my PC is better. Righty. So now we understand that within this weekly order block right here. So now we're trying to find a like an order block. Like this is an order block. This is an order block, and this is an order block. This is like out of the monthly OP, so this doesn't count. This is just liquidity. This is liquidity. Liquidity. By liquidity, I mean where the orders are. So liquidity is the highs and the lows. That's where a lot of orders are, because at the highs there's sell orders, at the lows there's buy orders. That's what I mean by liquidity. Okay, so we understand that there's actually three order blocks. So which one do you mark? We mark the origin, right? By the origin we mean the move that we mean the order block that actually pushed price upwards. Then boom, we mark this OP, right? So boom, look at that. Now OP, this is the OP. Sorry, this is the OP that pushed price upwards, broke the structure, broke the structure. You feel me? So did actually take out highs, meaning it's a very valid BFI footprint, water block, whatever, supply demand zone, whatever you wanna call it. I'm tired of naming it. So we understand that price came back. How big is this like range? It's almost 200 pips. Cool. So now we're trying to find an entry. Okay, so now that we understand that price came down to the daily order block, came tapped it, mitigated at the base. We can even move it, like minimize it to this point. Still, but we don't. We just keep it here for now. Okay, tap the base. So now we understand that boom, within this area right here. Sorry, we understand that at this particular low, shit. We understand that this particular low, there's buy orders. Okay, to push the price upwards. That was the bullish order flow volume from the tap of this order block right here. So we understand that we're looking for price to go higher within its levels right here. Okay. So now the reason that is our target, that is we trade zone to zone. Okay. So that's our target. So that's our next sell zone at this point. This is the sell zone that actually broke these. This is a daily sell zone that broke these lows, broke these lows, broke these lows, and also broke these lows. Okay. So that sell zone is very powerful. So now what do we do? Now we're looking for an entry. Go down to a 4 hour. We're not gonna look at this point anymore. we're gonna look at like these few beginning candles right here. So let's go 4 hour. Let's go 4 hour. So now 4 hour, we remove all of this, and we're gonna look at price from around this area right here. Let's just mark it out here. Cool. So now we understand the price did go down, created a low, you feel me? And then eventually liquidated that particular low, and then had tapped the daily order block within this area and then pushed price upwards, which broke this previous high. Then price came back, which means there was a BFI footprint at that level, and we marked the footprint that broke the structure. Okay, so boom, we marked this footprint. Price pushed price upwards. Price did come back and drop within our zone. You feel me? So like price came back and then dropped within our zone right here. You feel me? When it dropped within our zone, it went into the deeper half of the zone, gave us now buys and then pushed price upwards. And then eventually we did get a push upwards and then another dip within the zone. And then remember, this push upwards right here, this origin did break these lows, okay. And then price came back up to test that origin, so we can mark the next zone. And then our next zone will be this zone right here. Same shit happened. So as you guys can see, this is the area that broke all these highs over here. Then price came back, mitigated it within the 50%, but came mitigated the zone. I like to look at the ranges of the order blocks. Don't mind me. I really do like to look at the ranges. So now, like, let's say we were at this point right here. I doubt have a bar replay tool, especially on the 4 hour. It's gonna embarrass me and tell me to pay. Yeah, but other than that, so now as price came down, push this point right here. So now let's say we're within this area. Let's say we're right here before even price. Let's say we're right here before even price enters this point. So we go down to hourly. Now we're trying to find an order block within our 4 hour OB that'll give us an entry for us to get in. Okay. So now what do we do? So now we go down to the now we're in the 4 hour order block. We understand that we got the 4 hour order block right here, right? The broke structure, so it's a valid zone right here, okay? So now how do we get in? So now first we within this 4 hour order block, right? So we look for price to come into the zone, right, and then give us a 50-minute entry signal. So we have different types of entry signals. So there's a pinball candlestick. I'll show you guys what a pinball candlestick is. If you don't know, it will be weird if you don't know if you're a trader. This was actually my trade. You should trade EA more because okay, so we look for a 50-minute zone. So price came back first, boom, tapped us in, boom, gave us like a this was choppy price action. We never entered over here because we would have entered off a bullish old engulfing candle, but price came up, and then dropped again, liquidating these lows. Boom, and then first candle, okay, no valid entry signal. It's not a pinball, it's not an engulfing candle, it's not a rejecting candle. Second, third, and then boom, drop to the downside, engulfing candle. Right after this, look at this pinball candlestick. Right after this pinball candlestick, you would have gotten it because you understand now it's giving us a rejection of the zone. Right after this pinball candlestick, you would have gotten in. This is the aggressive entry. Stop loss right below the zone. and your TP would be the first 4 hours because what we're buying for a 4 hour level. So for currencies, I rarely go to like 4 hour. There's 150 pips clean, 150 pips clean, guys, like butter. So for currencies, when I use this strategy for currencies, I never go below like an hourly order block. I rarely do. I use the 4 hour order blocks and the daily order blocks, and then 15-minute, 5-minute entry signals, if you know what I'm saying. This is EA. This was my trade of exactly what happened. This would have been, let's see exactly what we think is going to happen. So now let's leave everything out. So what we do understand, we're within the consolidating area. Why we say that? Because price has been between these two price levels for an extended amount of time, meaning there's buy order flow stacking within this area. So now by order flow stacking, I mean that like whenever there's a consolidation, that means the BFI, the banks and financial institutions, they are actually now keeping price at that level and for an extended amount of time in order for them to actually enter more of their orders on the right side of the market so they can actually continue with the move. So now we understand that the higher time frame move is bearish. Right, we understand that the higher time frame move is bearish. So we're looking at this order block. So we understand this just tapped. Sorry, was there a daily order block here? Wait. Yeah, there was a daily order block. I remember there was a daily order block here. So now let's go back to the hourly, no, 4 hours. Sorry. So we understand that there's order flow stacking, right? So now we're trying to get what type of order flow stacking. Remember, guys, we had a daily buy zone at this point right here, okay? So now we're actually going to look for bullish order flow stacking. So this is actually a drop and then a push upwards. Alright, it's going to keep on doing this up until it finds enough volume for it to take it to the upside and push it to the upside. Okay, because now they're accumulating a lot of their orders so they can reverse price, if you know what I'm saying. So we understand that it is bearish order flow stacking within this area. And how we see that, we look at these moves, bro. We look at these moves. Look at like the buy moves that are within the consolidation, this market consolidation from this point to yeah. So we're gonna look at the momentum, the strength, the pressure, of the bearish move versus the bullish move. So we're gonna look at like this bearish move that was within the first bearish move, boom, and then the bullish move, weak, bearish move, a bit stronger, bullish move engulfs the bearish move, and then the bearish move doesn't engulf the bullish move at all. Cool. And then there's another bullish move that actually engulfs this bearish move, takes out these highs because even though it didn't go beyond, it still liquidated the highs. And then still there was a bearish move, but it still didn't engulf it just retraced it. And then there was a bullish move. This bullish move didn't engulf this initial bearish move, as you guys can see, but it did actually engulf this move. But let's just say it didn't engulf this move, but it's not done. Okay. So now what would we be looking for right now? We'll be looking for buys at this deeper level right here. So we're gonna wait for price. We understand that on the 4 hour it did break this high right here, right? So we would actually place this order block right here, and we would wait for price to not even break, but like let's see if price continues to break, or even if it doesn't, price comes down to this area, gives us buys, and then we're gonna buy off because we doubt it might go below here because we understand there's bullish order flow stacking, meaning they have buy orders everywhere at the bottom, so they wouldn't want to take out their buy orders. So that's why we understand that the lows will be kept, but the highs will be continuously broken. So now we'll have to enter buys at this point right here and hold it up until the top. So that's just my EA analysis, currencies analysis. I'll be analyzing another one in the next video. Tune into the next video. This is God like 3 sevens out.